Hello, my name is Hugh Michie, and I'm the principal bassoonist of the Cincinnati Chamber Orchestra. I joined the Chamber Orchestra in 1993, so this is coming up to be my 27th year. My, how time flies when you're having fun. It is a pleasure for me to be here today. I'm in my practice room, my music studio, as I like to call it. The reason why I picked this, well, one of the first reasons is that it's air conditioned and it's blazing hot outside. But the most important reason is that I've always kind of had a love-hate relationship with this room. When I'm so busy during the season, not only am I the principal bassoonist of the Chamber Orchestra, but I also play second bassoon with the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra. And the schedule is just so busy that I always feel like I have to be in here, or I'm not in here enough, practicing and getting prepared, and sometimes it's just a little overwhelming. So I've always kind of considered this room a little bit of a ball and chain, as it were. I never feel like I'm in here enough, either making reads or practicing. But ever since the quarantine happened, and the pandemic and all that, my attitude towards this room has changed. It's no longer really my ball and chain, but it has become my sanctuary. When I just can't take any more of COVID-19 and pandemic and riots and protesting, I come in here and this is like my sanctuary, and it's where I can come in and do the work. And I've been getting reacquainted with real honest to goodness practicing, doing fundamentals, scales, intervals, lots of etude books. And it's really helped my playing like nothing else can. Even though I've been playing for years and years and years, I always have to go back to the fundamentals and go back to the basics, as it were. I've also been spending a lot of time in here making reeds. Almost all double reed players make their own reeds. Here's one that I have now. And I've been able to, now that I've had the time, I've been stocking up on lots of reeds so that when we do go back and start playing again with the Chamber Orchestra and the CSO, I'll be ready and prepared. But I tell you, I am going to miss this summer season with the Chamber Orchestra, the Summermusik. I will really miss it. Mostly, I think I'll miss my colleagues, my friends. Since I only get to see them a lot of times once a year in August, it's really kind of a blow not to see them this year. Particularly the principals are just all really, really good buddies, really good friends of mine. And I'll miss them. I'll miss the music making. There's a big difference between playing principal bassoon in the Chamber Orchestra and second bassoon in the CSO. Mainly the second bassoon has a very important part, but very supportive. You're in the background a lot. You're not doing, you don't get a chance to lead or play solos, but in the Chamber Orchestra, I do get to express myself with solo lines. I do get to lead a little bit, and it's really a lot of fun to do. And I'll miss it. I'll miss it a lot. I'd like to share with you, however, a couple of memories that I have. One really special memory is when I first joined the orchestra. Well, it was about my second year. Keith Lockhart was the conductor, and he asked me to, on the first concert of the fall season in 1995, to go ahead and play the Mozart Bassoon Concerto, and that was huge for me. I've never played a concerto with an orchestra before. Of course, I've learned them for auditions and for my teachers and things like that, but I'd never actually played with an orchestra. So that was great, and I was very excited, but also very nervous about it. And but I consoled myself by saying, well, there's probably only going to be about 50 to 100 people there. Well, that was the year that Maestro Lockhart was appointed conductor of the Boston Pops. And so that had happened in the spring. And so by the following fall, the news had gotten out. So that first concert, it was packed. We were playing at that time in Memorial Hall. I think it was at least between around 300 people were there. They were just standing up everywhere. Every seat was taken. But instead of me being paralyzed by fear, it actually energized me, and it was one of the most wonderful experiences I'd ever had. It was so fun and so exciting, and it also meant so much because my mom and dad were there to experience it and to witness it, and it was just great. The other, I want to share another experience that was great. A few years ago, the Chamber Orchestra, in collaboration with a local rock guitarist named Roger Klug, started this series, a concert at the Redmore Theater called Chamber Rock. And it required a bassoon part, so I got to play in that. And I tell you, it was so much fun, and it was so great. And it enabled me to kind of have a dream of being in a rock guitar that I've always had, or in a rock band that I've always had since I was a little kid. And I knew I'd never do it because I really wanted to play classical music, but you always have that little fantasy of what would it be like to be in a rock band, and I got to experience that in kind of a limited fashion. So that was just so much fun. Well, I'd like to close out our time together with just playing a little introduction of a piece that was written by a friend of mine, a really good friend out in LA. His name's Andy Klein. And during his quarantine time, Andy's very energetic and has a lot of energy and is very social. So being quarantined has been driving him nuts. So what he's been doing, he's been composing. He's a bassoonist also like me, and he's been composing these little studies and pieces. And so he did a study on the finale movement 4 of Mozart's 39th Symphony. And of course, in the chamber orchestra, we play that all the time. So I'd like to play just a short segment of this, not the whole thing, but just a short segment of it. And I hope you enjoy it. And I've really enjoyed making this video and talking with you, and really miss not being able to play for you this season, but next year we'll definitely do it. Thank you.